Did my comments after sex warrant a ghosting?
Oh.
This is kind of fun. Hey guys, love the podcast. I just want to ask if it's okay if I stay anonymous. Never sent in a submission before, so I hope I'm doing it right. This may be long. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. Whoa. She sent in. You know what I like? You're absolutely gorgeous, and you wore a really fun outfit on this. No, her outfit is like in the picture, it's like a black little dress that like poofs out, and then she's got on like fucking Doc Marten like boots, or it looks like huge Doc Martens with like huge like a thick socks on top. She looks like a badass. And then she sent a shirtless picture of this guy who has a six-pack. And I like that I like when the pictures are like front, like I don't know, sometimes they like the surprise of reading the email and then seeing the pictures afterwards, but then when they're right up top, I go, oh, this is exciting. I know exactly who we're talking about. Okay.
It like hooks you in.
It does hook me in. Okay. Let's read this. So I'm a 23-year-old that just moved to the city from a small town. I'm assuming New York, because who calls anything other than New York the city? Can you imagine she's like Dayton, Ohio? It's like, okay, no. And completely new to dating. I did not date or have sex in high school or college because it was not a priority for me. Now that I'm in the city, I've decided to get on Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder. I matched with this guy, 26, and we quickly met and started dating for 2 months. I quickly fell in love with him hard. Yeah, that's the thing, girls. If you haven't had sex in high school and you've never really like dated, you cannot just fall in love with the first guy that you fuck. I mean, I get it though, because he has abs and he probably has like a decent dick or whatever, but we'll see. Oh, but 2 months and then he ghosted her. Wait, let's see. I was so attracted to him, I genuinely thought he was better looking than any male celebrity. He has high cheekbones, but let's not say hotter than any male celebrity. I just scrolled up to look at his picture and I go, he's cute. He's really cute, but he's not hotter than any male celebrity. He's like a ripped white guy. Like, yeah, he kind of looks like no, he's cute. I've had sex with guys that look like this. I thought he was the most gorgeous man I've ever seen, and he was extremely good at conversation, had hobbies, a great job, was intelligent, traveled around the world, and had his own apartment. It sounds like he grew up rich. I swear I could listen to him talk all day long and not get bored. Oh, bitch, you're in deep. Wake up, okay? This is bad. I could tell from the jump he had much more experience than I did, which was something I was insecure about even before going into dating. Okay, this isn't good, but like you don't need to be insecure about not having that much experience, because men are disgusting and they're like love that. They like straight men like love when a girl's like, I've never done this before. They love it when you're like 17.
That's
so wake up.
Medieval.
It is medieval. It's really sick. And so I feel like I'm sweating. Okay, so don't ever feel insecure about that. Guys like love that, and that's not a good thing that guys should love. And by the way, men are disgusting. They're like, they want a girl who doesn't have any experience, but then if you have too much experience, and they'll do all this like nasty sex stuff with you, but not date you. They're fucking animals, and their perception of the Madonna whore complex of women is like absolutely vile, because women aren't people to them. Okay, I hadn't even held hands with a guy ever at that point. He held my hand on our first date, and then I ended up having sex for the first time on our second date after going to his place. 10 out of 10 experience, and I felt really comfortable with him. Well, that's great. I really wanted this guy to be my first boyfriend, but a couple of things. Okay, we cannot make the first guy you fuck in the city your boyfriend, sweetheart. Oh my God. But I do love, you're so sweet. A couple of things he did throughout dating me that made me insecure. That made me feel insecure that he didn't feel the same way about me. He would take a while to respond to text messages. Like one day, sometimes it took him 3 to 5 days. Not good. Our times together in person were good to me, but if I left, I would have to be the one to reach out, or I'd wait 3 days and hear nothing. He put a lot of less effort into dates after sleeping together. He never asked, took me to a nice dinner, and was a bit weird with paying. I'm a feminist though, so I don't mind paying for myself, but I did notice that if it means anything at all. It's okay for you to want this guy who clearly has a good job and like is whatever to pay for dinner after he took your virginity. Okay, I don't know. I'm sorry. Even though virginity is like a construct of like it's not even real. We like made it up to like sell women. It's disgusting. It is. It's like it's not real. Like it's like nobody cares about it. But I mean like he did take it, and I think he can. I mean he can buy you a fucking $40 steak. That's just my own personal opinion. Also, we have to stop being like splitting the check is something that you can do when you're like on a first date, I mean, I'm gay, so it's like, although I don't mind paying, even when I had no money, I had no mind paying. It's just kind of like who I am. I think when people are like, we're splitting it, that is when like you're not interested in somebody. I think if you are actively interested or fucking somebody, yeah, pick up the check. It's a small price to pay to fuck. I was pretty worried he was talking to other girls the whole time. He was, because of, not to be mean, but like, listen, he's not responding. He's not reaching out after you guys hang out. I've been here so many times, especially when I was younger, being like, I really like this guy, and they're older and they have more experience than me, and they don't like us back. They just like, once you get a little bit older and you have a little bit more of a sex life, you'll realize like you were just like a girl he was fucking at that time, and it hurts so much to be thought of that way. But let's keep reading. Because how can a guy that so attractive and smart, you're really putting him on a pedestal, just only be with one girl on her first rodeo, you know? Anyways, towards the end of the 2-month mark, we finally had sex again. We couldn't for a while because he was out of town, and I was also got a UTI and yeast infection after my first time, so that took a bit off time so we could have had more. I think that's kind of normal. Although I know a lot of girls that get like BV afterwards, but that's more because of like the pH balance. But yeah, also it sounds like he was fucking with a dirty dick. So yeah, I would be like absolutely careful. Seems like he's not that perfect. Okay, we started having sex for a while, and we're going to do all sorts of different positions, going at it, and suddenly he takes the condom off and kind of gives up and says he's done, aka he couldn't finish, and said that he was just desensitized. Oh, this man's a sex addict, a porn addict, and he's jerking and edging all day, and he can't come to normal vagina. That's not. This is not on you. In the moment, I was really worried it was my fault he couldn't come. No, it is not your fault whatsoever. This is like a city boy who's been run through and is a sex addict. This is not your fault whatsoever. You're a nice, kind girl from a small town. Okay, you just didn't know. This should not have been your second time. This is one of those classic experiences. Like the first time was so great, you should have just left it at that and go met somebody else. It was my second time having sex, and my insecurity about not living up to expectations was a worry. So my mind immediately jumped to being my fault somehow. Let me just tell you something right now, honey. When it comes to women, you could lie there dead fish and they'd fuck you. You know, if they can't come, it's always on them. Well, not always. I mean, like maybe they're really like have some emotional issues going on with you, and or like maybe I don't know, but you're really pretty. I mean, I'll tell you this: you're really pretty. It's fine, okay? Like he wanted to have sex with you. Now, obviously, I know in retrospect that it can be a myriad of reasons. You're so smart, and like I love that I feel like everything I say, I look back and go, you say it too. It's great. We're like friends. I was checking in on him, offering to do whatever else he needed. Don't do that. And just overall feeling bad for him about the situation. He wasn't rude at all, but reassuring that it was fine. He said to me, "Let me tell you something right now. If I can't finish or like can't get hard, don't even worry about it. Don't even apologize. I don't think you never need. He needs to start apologizing to you. There's no reason don't ever be like, what can I do to make it better? That is women trying to help men too much. He would never do the same to you. You know what he would do if you couldn't get wet? He would just take a bunch of lube or spit on it. He wouldn't be like, oh, what can I do to make you wet? Okay, so he wasn't rude at all, just being reassuring that it was fine. He said to me, you know what's more to sex than just that, finishing. He is right about that. Me, well, yeah, but isn't that the point? Him, the point of what? Me, sex, the point to come? He goes, yeah, well, you didn't get to orgasm either, so... Okay, that's really not good. Also, like, I think the point of sex is to, like, be connected to somebody and whatever. I guess it's to come, but like it's not uncommon to not come during sex for everybody. So after this exchange, we did go into the shower, and I said the dumbest comment ever that I regret and still feel so much shame over. I said, yeah, I mean, I remember thinking, damn, it's taking a while. And he was like, I'm worried that if that's how you view sex. After his reaction, I knew it was totally the wrong thing to say, and I tried to backtrack and explain. I said, I mean, I'm really having a good time and we're feeling good. I was just worried you were not somehow. So you're just insecure. This is coming off of you being insecure. This guy doesn't matter. I know you probably really liked him. You built it up into your head. That's the problem with kind of like waiting to lose your virginity, is that like when you meet someone hot that fucks you for the first time, you go cuckoo crazy, and you start being like, oh my God, I said the wrong thing. Honey, you're going to say the wrong thing 100 times. This guy was never your guy. You do not need to feel bad about this. That I thought you were going to say like,
I love you.
I love you. Or like, what's wrong with your dick? Like you said like, oh yeah, it was taking a long time. It was taking a long time, and he couldn't come. And that if he got insecure about that, that's his own issues, because clearly this is probably a problem in his life. This is not you. He's probably addicted to porn, sweetheart. Okay. Obviously, my comment comes off so bad in so many ways. No, it doesn't. And the honest truth is that I was really enjoying the sex, but I was worried if I wasn't pleasing him enough because he didn't finish. You're so nervous about pleasing this guy. It doesn't matter. I'm sure he thought you were hot. He's probably insecure, and then he's just lashing back out at you because he couldn't fucking finish. He's addicted to porn. My old insecurities about him being so much more experienced than me sexually definitely came out. And yeah, you know what he's really experiencing and is edging his cock for 9 hours, and that's why he can't come. It's fine, and that definitely came out and clouded my thinking instead of just going with the flow and accepting the situation. I also said at least it didn't hurt like last time with my yeast infection. That's okay. So let's keep some things to ourselves. And then he said, so that's the only good thing you can say about that? No, he's insecure. And I said, no, of course not. I'm just glad I didn't have my yeast infection. We get back in bed and cuddle, and I'm not thinking much about it because we start discussing other things like normal and laughing, etc. So I'm thinking everything is fine and back to normal. Next morning, he is so cold to me, doesn't cuddle or kiss me, say goodbye like normal, and honestly, he's giving me a bad look. Oh my God. I originally thought it was because he was tired and didn't even realize you're spending so much time thinking about what he's thinking in his mind and like caring like, okay, well, what is he thinking? Like, what's going on in his head? Like, why is he acting like this? Why is he saying this to me? It doesn't matter. This guy, thank God he ghosted you. This guy is not good for you regardless. And also, you care way too much about what the other person is thinking and how they are perceiving you and if you're worthy of love and attention. And all of that should already be answered. That is like you are. And dating is a rough game. And sometimes it just doesn't work out with people, but it's not that big of a deal. But I feel like maybe you're somebody who's very high stress, took high school and college very, very seriously, maybe tried to be, you have a little bit of like good girl, perfect girl syndrome, I think. And you're trying to, maybe that's what you were like in high school or in your family dynamic was like, it was your job to placate everybody else's, I don't even know if I use that word right. Everybody else's like emotions and make sure that the temperature in the room was always, even keeled. And that was your job but that's not your job here anymore in the real world. You need to start, I hate to be like this, but in the city, you got to start living for yourself. You got to start getting a little bit more selfish and not care. Anyways, before I leave, he says to me to text him about going out again. So I'm thinking, oh, well, we have dates for the future and everything's fine. After that, he slowly ghosted me for good and I haven't spoken or seen him since. He didn't try to ask me about it again or say I hurt his feelings, etc. Just completely stopped talking to me. I'm really lacking closure. Closure's not real. It's not. Closure is just another way to try to manipulate somebody into being in the room with you. I'm genuinely still in love with this guy, and I'm kicking myself for being. You're not in love. You don't know this guy. Real love isn't like this. Bye, girls. The lesbians are leaving. Real love isn't like this. This is like obsession. This isn't love. This is your insecurity being like, oh my God, I met a guy who likes me. Finally, a guy that likes me. Maybe you've never been liked in the past. You feel like you've never been liked in the past. This isn't love. And you are going to fall in love with someone who actually wants to be around you and wants to do fun things with you and thinks you're an incredible person. This is just a guy you fucked. I think I said that. Oh, wait, we're sorry. I'm genuinely still in love with this guy, and I'm kicking myself for being such an idiot and saying those things and ruining it all. Let me tell you something. You're 23. You can't ruin it all with the right guy. Saying the wrong thing to the right person, it doesn't matter. This is such a little comment. If you think that this is like how people are, like that you say one thing and they ghost you forever. No. This guy's just thought of you as a girl that he fucked a couple of times, and he was fucking other women the entire time. He probably gave you that fucking yeast infection. I think I said what I said with such nonchalance because guys are usually made fun of for coming way too fast. So I stupidly thought of an insult of a guy that takes a little bit longer. So I obviously shouldn't have commented at all and realized it's so much more sensitive. Either way, now that I know that now. It's not a big deal. Sweetheart, you're making this into such a big thing of like, this is the reason. Can I just be honest with you? He never liked you. I know this is like the meanest thing to say. You probably felt like hurt when I said that. And I'm not trying to say this to hurt you because you're trying to find all these little reasons why you're not good enough or what you said was wrong. I'm gonna maybe this will help you get over this. He never liked you. You were never going to be his girlfriend. He just wanted to have sex with you, and that was it. And then when you were kind of like, oh, I want more, that's why he ghosted you. It had nothing to do with that. He was just a guy living in the city who was having sex with multiple women. You are gorgeous, cool, probably so smart and funny, and you also have a banging body and good style. You know what I mean? But and he's not this hot. I want to be honest with you. He's not that hot. He's pretty. He's like kind of looks like a little bit of a Disney prince, not like the other prince, not like the prince in the goth. But it's not that big of a deal. But the thing is, I don't want you to keep beating yourself up over this because you were never going to date this guy. This was never in the cards.
If he really liked you, he would not care what, like, that comment.
If he
was
really
a nothing
liked you, you could have spit in his face and he would have been like, can we get dinner tomorrow? Like, genuinely, like, there's nothing, you can't say the wrong thing to the right guy. This was just a guy you met in the city who fucked you well.
Yeah.
And you're going to look back and you're going to, I swear you are going to look back when you are 26 and you are going to laugh about the guy you fucked at 23 that you thought you were in love with. You were going to laugh your freaking heart out with your girlfriends being like, I can't believe I thought that I was in love with him. And I hope that brings you a little bit of closure. And just know that, like, you are so worthy of love and that you're going to find amazing people. And also, I'm sure, amazing friends in this new city and have a big, big, full life. Anyways, I still feel a lot of shame and pain that it ended like that, and just want to know what you think of the situation. Do you think if he liked me, was serious about me, he would have tried to talk to me about it or explain that I hurt his feelings? No. I think I already said this, but or was it what I said so bad that there was no coming back from it? In the end, I sent a long apology text that night that he never replied to. I just wish we didn't end it that way. The first guy I ever dated, I totally fell in love with and fucked it up, and he wasn't even officially my boyfriend. I hate it here. Anyways, thanks, guys. He was never going to be your boyfriend. This is the hardest part, and please brace yourself. He never liked Joe. I know, but this is the podcast. I'm being completely honest with you guys. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and cover up and sugarcoat your feelings. You are beating yourself up so bad because you thought that this guy was going to give you a shot to date you. He was never going to date you. And I don't say that because you're not worthy of dating or he's better than you. None of that. He's just a 26-year-old guy who's probably fucking 15 different girls one every single night. Like, he's a good looking with abs 26-year-old, has a good job in a city. He has a lot of options, and he's not going to have a girlfriend for a very long time. It's not even a possibility to date this guy. It feels bad, but and also you'll look back and say, like, I can't believe I thought I was in love with him. Things are going to work out and be so different for you. I promise you. Like, just keep moving, forget about this guy. Also, let go of the pain and the shame. It does not matter. Yeah. You do not need to beat yourself up over this. Nikki Glaser did this on a podcast one time, and it really changed my perspective on everything, which is Nikki Glaser, one of my favorite comedians. This was like 10 years ago. She bought a brand new laptop, right? And she also had a problem with beating herself up all the time, like mentally. Like, whenever she made a mistake, so the day she got this laptop, she got a glass of water and she started working on the laptop and immediately knocked the glass of water over. And she had this big realization where she was like, and the laptop was ruined. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I could sit here and, like, really beat myself up. Like, you're so stupid for doing this. Why would you bring water next to the laptop? That's the dumbest thing you could do. But that's not going to change the fact that her brand new laptop is broken. The punishment is that the laptop is broken. You don't also need to beat yourself up about it. The punishment in this situation is that this ended poorly, and you and this guy are not going to see each other again. Do not waste time beating yourself up and feeling guilty and shame over something that doesn't matter. You're an incredible person, and things are going to work out for you, I promise. I love you so much. What are we at time-wise?
38.
That one took a while. Yeah. That one took a while, but I thought it was good. I really see, that's a good email. I think you were like really honest. You gave it up, and also pictures. You're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Oh God.
Can I just say, when you're like that young, like 23, I feel like you don't feel like you're young, like at the time, but you are. And it's so easy for things to feel so serious and intense and like life or death. And like, it's just like, I totally relate to her because it feels so much more serious in your head. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't, because when you're 23, you have this feeling of like, okay, well, I'm in my 20s.
Yeah.
And like, I'm an adult now. And like, and what you don't realize is, and I hated hearing this too, because people would always be like, Dylan, you're so much like older for your age or whatever. Like, you feel, like I had older friends and stuff. At the end of the day, you're still 23. And like, and now that I'm 31, I'm like, I look back at 23-year-old Dylan and I'm like,
who was that?
Who was that? I'll share a little thing. When I was 23 years old, I moved to Portland, Oregon. I didn't know anybody there. I drove across the country. and I just started a new life there. And I met this guy on Grindr who was a yoga teacher, and he was the kind of yoga teacher that you had to wear like the full garment and like the hat. I can't. What kind of yoga is that?
I don't know.
But it was like he was a white guy, and he was like doing the chanting and stuff. And I was like so fat, and he was like had this like ripped, gorgeous body, and we had like really intense like sex. And I remember like him playing music and us being high and us hooking up, and I was like, it was like at that point the best sexual experience I'd ever had. And I was like, well, that's my boyfriend. A guy that I went over to his house at 11 o'clock at night, smoked weed, and then just hooked up with. And then he would like wouldn't respond, just like you. And I'd be like, why isn't my boyfriend responding? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, I look back now and I'm like, yeah, you were just a guy that fucking went to his house at 11 o'clock at night and like hooked up with him.
Yeah. We're more romantic. We want romance.
You're romance. That's the thing. You're a romantic. Don't
Yeah.
ever lose that, and don't get bitter by these types of situations either, because you deserve a big love, and you deserve a guy to make you feel all the feelings that you are feeling right now, but have it be real. So don't feel bad about that. But I'm glad you said that, Ariel, because I really agree with you. Everything does feel so life or death when you're 20.
It really does.
Now everything just feels like, now I'm 31 and I go, fucking who
like
cares?
who cares?
Yeah. Now that I'm older, I'm like, literally, I'd rather die than listen to like someone talk for. This guy's probably, you know what's so funny? If we got like a video of your dates, this guy's probably like, yeah, I like love living in the city, and you would look back and be like, he was the love of my life. Like he's a loser. Oh my god.